Yeah, 100%. We back, y'all. The villain. We here. So I'm gonna try not to hold y'all too long, but this is one of my favorite subjects, man. This music. You know what we were raised on, what we grew up into. This hip hop. That's all I pretty much know. As a lot of us. Not saying I didn't grow up with Michael Jackson and Prince and R&B, but hip hop I think got a whole different effect. Um, and let me say this: I can remember when I first heard songs and the feeling that I got when I first heard them. No other music has ever made me feel like hip hop. No other sound, no other. I remember when songs first came out, like Biggie, Tupac, all that back in the like 95, 96, 94, 93 era. You would stop everything you're doing. It don't matter what you're doing. You could be driving up the highway in the middle arguing with your girl. Y'all gonna stop what y'all doing and y'all gonna listen to that shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like music don't do that no more. Music ain't did that in a while. Some people ain't never felt that with this hip hop. Like hip hop. I ain't gonna say it's dead, but hip hop ain't hip hop to the point where everybody gets to experience it because the radio is trash, media trash. Uh, it ain't really no real music stations no more. So when you go on platforms like this, like YouTube, you got to know what to look for. 9 times out of 10, the real hip hop ain't gonna pop up on your screen unless you're already loaded in there, like unless you already know, kinda. If you don't know, then it might not be in your algorithm. So real hip hop, and I'm gonna give y'all some examples. I ain't gonna talk about my favorite just yet. If you can't figure it out, of course, Doom. MF Doom is hip hop. Period. Like it ain't, he defines the whole everything about hip hop. He was exactly that. So R.I.P. to MF. He was the one. But anyway, as far as like growing up with this music and all of this diversity, and that's what we don't have anymore. Like we used to have all types of different rap. You had the hood, the gangster. You had the dudes in suburbs talking about what they was going through. Uh, Far Side. You had I don't remember your guy name with the. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a ball. See, people don't come out with music like that no more, and the ones that do don't get no type of. They ain't gonna get no type of airplay, no type of radio. People with their own original sound and style. See, that's another thing. Like back in the day, you couldn't come out sounding like somebody else like that. You get clowned. You trying to imitate somebody. Like you had to be original. You had to have your own style. You couldn't be out here trying to like everybody would get on you. Other groups, other crews, everybody was gonna talk about you now. You can't just think you just about to take somebody. Man, that wasn't even cool. So that's why I like certain people the way they approach their lyrics, the way they approach the beat, the track that they chose, what they chose to talk about over the track. Like all that to me matters, and I feel like nowadays it's all the same shit. It's all computerized, programmed nonsense. Basically, it ain't nothing memorable. It ain't nothing, and I ain't saying that just because I'm older, because I don't listen to most of it no more. Because I stopped. I tried to actually listen to it, but it's all the same. We had diversity in the music because we got diversity in ourselves, and there's so many different talented people with voices that they get shut down. Like I said, those were just two examples. There was so many other artists that didn't talk about drugs, didn't talk about killing, didn't talk about chasing ass. You know what I'm saying? But they talked about love. A lot of people talked about unity. A lot of people talked about getting off of drugs. Like the Public Enemies and the groups like that. See, that's when we were more in control of our own shit because they didn't even want to be a part of it at that time. And when I say they, I mean the corporations and the entities that basically own our music now. You know, because before it was trash. They hated everything. What is that? That's not gonna make it. That's what they were saying. Hip hop was a joke to them until they actually saw what the power. Let me say, when they saw the power of the what it could possibly do, how it could possibly be used for exactly what it's being used for now. Because it is a tool. It's not even free thought anymore. See, back in the day, hip hop was free thought expression off your dome, out your heart type shit, right? Now, people be writing other people lyrics and telling them what to talk about, and it's already, they come in the studio, it's already done for them. Here you go. So it's not even from their minds. It's from other people. It's from an industry. It's from a machine that's pumping out all types of evil and demonic spirits and like it's getting to the point where I might not even listen to the radio no more. The only radio I listen to right now is either old school, and I gotta plug my boy, Audioless, the Audioless app. I gotta listen to Hype Nation weekdays. If I'm not if I'm not wrong, I think it's 7 p.m. to midnight. It might be 7 or 8 to midnight. Hype Nation, Audioless. Get the app. It's called the Audioless app. A lot of stations on there, but Hype Nation is the one I'm telling y'all about. It's old school hip hop all the way up into like 2018, 19. Like he bringing that fire. My boy bringing that fire. So y'all check that out. But real music is not being produced right now. It's like I told you, it's a machine. It's pumping out trash. The real ones, you got to search for that. And that's the thing. You got to know what you want to look for. So when you don't have control or ownership of your own creations, and you're being told what to pump out and what to produce, and it's only really the ones that don't mind doing it, because the people with the real consciousness and you know esteem about them don't ain't gonna feel right about putting shit out there like that. But they'll always find an idiot. Like it's always gonna be you know those few that don't mind selling out, selling themselves, selling them souls, and just doing whatever. And then of course years later you hear him with that apology. They'll be like, yeah, if I could take it back, but you can't take it back. So don't even say that bullshit. All the people and children really that you have stirred the wrong way. Because I remember when I was coming up, somebody had said something real stupid like music don't influence you, which is the most dumbest thing you could say because everything influences you. Anything that comes into your path is going to influence you. Period. I told you because we're sponges, right? But you got something that's going into your brain, right? Your subconscious. Music is a feeling. Music can touch your soul depending on what it is and how it's done. There are frequencies. I ain't trying to get too deep, but there are frequencies that they have studied where they know how to influence you in a certain way. I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm not gonna get too deep in all that because that'll be a whole different conversation. If y'all want to talk about stuff like that, we can get on deep in the surface levels. But it's just things you would have to know about and things you'd have to be willing to look up and research. But there's certain frequencies, and because God is so perfect, let's just keep it on. Our creator is so perfect that there are frequencies that were unknown to man until we got the tools and equipment and the brain to even think about this type of shit that could change your mood, change your outlook on things in a good or a bad way, in a positive or a negative way, because everything has a opposite, right? Everything has a positive, everything has a negative in this world. So anyway, going back to the music, we have been fed, really shoved down our throats, pause, shit that because when you grew up in hip hop about 50 something years old now. So when you grew up in it and you immersed yourself in it, and that's all you knew, that's how you thought, that's how you dressed, that's how you felt, because it was really a black expression. So you took it to the heart. There's so many of us that took it to the heart. We became everything about hip hop. The B boys, the B girls, the dancing, the break dancing and shit. Come on, man. That was a movement. The break the beatboxing, the beating on tables. So I'm gonna bring some of y'all back a little bit. The pens and the pencils we used to use when we used to beat on tables and make up beats. We used to beat on the walls, make our voice echo. Man, come on, man. Come on, stop it. That's hip hop. And we was freestyling. We was coming off the dome from the heart. That's real life. That's real love. You can't make that up. But that's what we was doing. Freestyling. Just come on, man. I didn't get into hip hop, I'm gonna say until about 90. I knew about it and everything in the 80s old when I was a kid. The breakdancing and everything. I did a little bit of it, but as far as like me trying to put my voice on a recording, that probably didn't I probably didn't look at it like that until about 92, 3. A couple of my guys were just writing rhymes down, and I was like, "Damn, they out here writing and shit. What the hell? Let me hear what y'all talking about." And they started spitting, and it was hip hop. It was. They talked about everything and nothing at all. It didn't have to be a certain subject. You just was flowing. It was just wherever your mind took you. Whether you was doing a story, had a storyline, or you was just going. You was just yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Like hip hop is so raw and uncut and unfiltered that you can really say and talk about anything. It ain't nothing. It's almost like comedy. You can talk about ain't nothing off limits. It's from the heart. It's pure. It's like a child. You understand what I'm saying? It's as close to God as you can get. But if you look at what's out here now, that's as far away from God as you can get. And that's the thing. We got to get back to it. That's why I'm talking about it now. Because some of y'all have grew up in some shit that you don't even understand. Some of y'all don't even go back to even understand what this hip hop even came from. Like listen to your mom and your pop's music, and a lot of it was commercial, mainstream. See, I was more into the underground, more into the mixtapes and the. Even though I grew up mainly on like Mob Deep, you know what I mean, Nas, all that from the top, and then of course UGK, you know what I mean, Outkast. That's probably one of my favorite groups. Like period, uh, just everybody. Texas was on, you know what I mean. Florida was popping off, and then you got the West Coast was just getting ridiculous. So I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit. Some of y'all don't remember the Alcoholics. The Alcoholics was crazy, lyrical beats. Man, come on, man. Them licks. Yeah. See, I told you I listen to just about everything. Of course Dre, Snoop. Of course that. You know, but I listen to man just about everybody. That's what influenced me. Of course, you had the greats. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you who my favorites are right now. I think I'm gonna leave that for a whole nother discussion. But hip hop was raw, pure, and unfiltered, and you couldn't to keep it going. You couldn't put it in a box, and that's the opposite of what you want to do with hip hop because hip hop shouldn't be in a box. And to bring it back to MF Doom, he was the one that when I first heard him, probably I think it was '99 on his first. on his first tape that it blew my mind when I first heard the beat. I mean, the first 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, I already knew this shit crazy. This is what I need. This is what I want. Right? I knew it. Right? First couple seconds, then the voice, then the lyrics, just unhinged. You know what I mean? He came from anywhere. He could talk about anything. He can come off of any type of subject. It don't. He can almost rhyme anything with anything. It don't matter. He would say something so wow that you would miss the next 3 bars. And then you go back. Then you heard the next 3 bars. Then you mixed it. And then you missed the next three. Like he was so crazy with his lyrical sense that every single syllable would rhyme sometimes. Every single syllable. And I don't know if y'all even understand what that means. So if you never got a chance to listen to Doom, I think you should. Like I said, I'm not gonna take y'all too far in this one. We gonna get into it because music is the heart and the soul. Music is what made me who I am. Is a big part of who I am, and I love it. I'm not in love with it now. I used to be, just like Common said when he said he used to love her, and I understood what he said then, and now it's even more honestly, it's more relevant today because hip hop is so far away from where she used to be that we can't even call it hip hop no more. It's not even rap. It's not even trap. It's not even drill. I don't even know what the fuck this shit is right now. It's just trash. Straight garbagiano. It don't make no sense, and it's not supposed to. Most of it's demonic as hell, like I told you, and we feeding our children that shit constantly. Now, at some point, it is on us. So I had to turn, like, I tried to introduce my son when he was real young to all types of music, not even just rap or hip hop. But some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all got to go back and study and listen and understand where I'm coming from. But we going to talk about it. And I just want y'all to understand that you need to like, subscribe, and comment so we can keep these things going. Because I'm going to be revisiting certain things, like I told y'all. But in the meantime, in between time, behind the scene time, y'all be safe. Love you. Peace.